I just saw a video from a young lady. I left her a few comments. So, I mean, hopefully they're received with love, right? But usually I would respond with a video from a comment that I left, but I'll just leave it there. But I saw a video where it was a beautiful young lady, young black girl. And the caption on the video just said, you know, people are always saying you're young, you still have time, but that's how you end up 40 trying to catch up. Like, I don't have time. And the comment that I left for her, like the gist of the comment I left to her, is that as a 41-year-old woman, for the last 3 decades of my life, I have pivoted, whether it's been by circumstance or it has been by choice. I am begging young people, and when I say young people, I'm maybe early 30s, but I'm mainly talking to young people in their 20s and younger. I am begging you to release yourselves from the shackles of that way of thinking now, because it gives you a false sense of stability, right? It makes you think, if I have it all figured out by the time I'm this age, the rest of my life is going to be smooth sailing. And baby, I'm here to tell you that is not how it works. There will be things that you have all figured out just for them to fall apart again. There will be things that fall into place that you were not even expecting. Most things in life are not controllable. Your job isn't controllable. Your relationships aren't controllable. Your health isn't, to a certain extent it is, but you can be the healthiest, you can eat the healthiest, you can work out, whatever the case may be, and still get cancer, right? Most things that you experience in life, it's not going to be a controllable. Yes, you can choose your job, you can choose your field of study, you can choose your field of work, but you can't control when companies decide to lay you off, or a terrible work environment, or a terrible job market. Those things you can't control, right? You can choose your partner. You can have all the standards in the world. You can choose your partner exactly by the standards that you have. Y'all can start a relationship with the same wants, needs, desires. In 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road, they can decide they don't want that no more. They can die. Like, things can happen uncontrollable. Again, you can work out, eat healthy, and still wake up at 30 with lupus. Me. You are never going to be an age where things are going to stop happening to you. We are currently living under an administration, for the second time, right, where things are starting to happen to people that had everything planned out, that just December 2024 was all in place. I implore you to start conditioning yourself with the mindset of, it's never too late to begin again. It's never too late to begin again. That doesn't mean that you don't work hard and you don't have goals, that you don't work hard to achieve them. And then when you do, you add another goal and add another goal. But it is important that you, again, create the mindset that it's never ever too late to begin again. As long as you are living and you are breathing, you can just start it all over again if you have to. Again, whether by circumstance or if you just wake up one day and say, I don't want to do this no more, I want to do something else. We tend to put a lot of stake in, things like our hustle, what we can achieve, those tangible things that we or other people can see. But something else I want young people to start putting on those goals lists is soft skills, things like empathy. And I'm not just talking about empathy for other people around you, right? You need that too. But I mean empathy for yourselves, because as you get older and life starts happening, and I don't want to fearmonger, life happens for you too, right? There's a lot of beautiful things in life. But what that empathy for yourself allows is space and grace for when things happen to you that are out of your control. And you maybe find yourself in a place where you have to catch up, right? Because you could be caught up and then still end up having to catch up. I fear that where my generation failed young people is with this crazy, grind culture mentality. And never or rarely do you see people encouraging young people to develop soft skills, right? Empathy, active listening, self-awareness, things like that. We've only encouraged young people to manifest the tangibles of the life that they want. But we haven't really talked about how to live it, how to exist in it, right? And the ebbs and flows of it. I feel like we've done them a disservice because for the most part, we're the generation that sort of broke out of the status quo, right? Those societal norms. And for whatever reason, the generation after us has fallen back into like this boomer Gen X mentality. And to me, it's because we just haven't kept it real enough. We spent so much time teaching them how to look and not, how to feel. That's where we failed, young people. Everything else is boomers and Gen X fault. And I'm sticking to that.
Watching that video really hit home for me because honestly, pivoting is something we don't talk about enough. That moment when you realize the path you started on isn't the only path you're meant to walk. Today, I want to dive deeper into that inspired by the clip you just watched. We're going to talk about pivoting, why it's necessary, why it's scary, and why it can be the best thing that ever happens to you. And to bring it all to life, we're going to use someone we all know, Beyoncé, because her journey is a blueprint for evolving fearlessly. Pivoting is not abandoning your dreams. It's allowing them to grow with you. Think about Beyoncé. She didn't wake up one day as Beyoncé the mogul. She started out as a little girl in a group called Girls Tyme, a bunch of children performing at talent shows just hoping to make it. That group evolved into Destiny's Child, one of the biggest selling girl groups of all time. But even in all that success, there came a point where she knew it's time to grow again. Pivoting doesn't always mean things are bad. Sometimes it just means you've outgrown where you are. Beyoncé made the decision to go solo at a time where Destiny's Child was still loved around the world. But she felt a new version of herself pulling at her. Imagine the courage it took. No guarantees, no promises, just faith that her next chapter would be worth the risk. Here's a question for you. Have you ever felt that inner tug, even when everything looked great on the outside? After launching her solo career, Beyoncé did not stop at music. She kept pivoting, kept evolving. She acted in movies. She also became the face of major brands like L'Oreal. She launched perfume lines like Heat and became the ambassador for them. She embarked on different tours, each bigger, bolder, and more innovative than the last. She even built Parkwood Entertainment, her own production company. Each pivot wasn't random, it was intentional. She didn't stay in one box, even when one box was comfortable. And here's the truth. Pivoting comes with uncertainty. When Beyoncé first acted in movies, not everyone took her seriously. When she released a visual album without warning, people were shocked. Pivoting means doing things people might not understand at first. It means being misunderstood, even criticized. But guess what? You don't pivot for them. You pivot for the version of you that's waiting to be born. Today, Beyoncé is not just an entertainer. She's a mogul, a movement, a moment. From music to movies, from modeling to business, from tours to real estate. She's built an empire by refusing to stay one thing forever. And you can too. Pivoting is the bridge between where you are and where you're meant to go. So if you're in a season where you feel change coming, if you're hearing that quiet inner voice saying there's more for you, listen to it. The people create new worlds, the moguls, the leaders, the legends. They're the ones brave enough to pivot. You're not starting over, you're starting deeper, you're starting stronger, and who knows, this version of you on the other side of the pivot might be the icon you were born to be. If today's video gave you something to think about, leave me a comment below. What's one pivot you've been called to make? And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who's standing at their own crossroads. Remember, your pivot is part of your purpose. Thank you for being here. See you in the next video. Ciao. Thanks for watching.